Okay, so I want to talk about education in Canada. I mean for the children, or let me say education generally, because I have a friend that wants to come to Canada with the children, and he was now asking for what example of curriculum can he be using to prepare the children to come over to Canada so that they will meet up with whatever grades they have from Nigeria or whatever classes they have from Nigeria. So that made me to do this video. Now, education in Canada is different from Nigeria education, and as you know, Nigeria education is more of the the British format of education. But in Canada here, once you give birth to your child and the child is not up to 5 years, cannot even start school. Though there are daycare centers all around, you can have a caregiver, a nanny living with you, or that goes and come back. But no school starts officially without the child getting to age 5. Even at age 5, listen to me very carefully here, the child is permitted to go into kindergarten class. And kindergarten class here is between age 5 and age 6. And at that time, the child is not yet a pupil, because in some areas, some provinces, some schools, the child resumes at 9 o'clock, and at 11:30, they close for kindergarten. So that introduces them gradually into the school system. But at age 6, that is where classes start. If your child is age 6, irrespective of the grade he or she was back in the country you are coming from, just make sure you have your child's birth certificate and all the immunizations cards. Your child will go into grade 1 at age 6. They use grade system here, and it's age by age. I mean the year they are born, so that classmates will be people in the same age range, and then they would have like minds together. So if the child is 6 years old, doing grade 1, 7 years old, grade 2, 8 years old, grade 3, 9 years old, grade 4, and then 10 years old, grade 5, 11 years old, grade 6, 12 years old, grade 7, 13 years old, grade 8, 14 years old, grade 9, 15 years old, grade 10, 16 years old, grade 11, 17 years old, grade 12. And then the child can decide to go into maybe a college, polytechnic, a university, as the case may be, after graduating from grade 12. So like I said, you don't need to prepare your kids with whatever curriculum. In fact, you'll be surprised that in some schools, they don't give pupils assignments. They don't offer some subjects we offer back home and the likes. Just make sure your kids can communicate in English. Nevertheless, there are some kids in schools that they don't even speak English as well, but they can understand, coming from various other countries that do not really speak English as well, but at least they speak a little. Once the child can understand, you cannot hinder them. Everyone is included in education here. We have different forms of schools here, or different types. After talking about the grades and entrance, first one I'll talk about is the government school, which is very common here. In Canada, we have the government school almost in every community. We have different classes. We could have the elementary, we have the junior high school, we have the collegiate, as the case may be. Government schools, they are free, fully free, funded by government and some other people involved in charities. Another thing I want to talk about is that in government schools, they have access to so many things as provided by government or other charity bodies, and they don't wear uniform in government schools. Children from every nationality, they are accepted and included without prejudice or bias. They are accepted. The second form of school or type of school I'll talk about in Canada is the Catholic schools. The Catholic schools, these are schools that are owned by Catholics. They are not government schools. They are owned by the Catholics. And in this school, it's not totally free. Even if some things are subsidized, the means. Sometimes the kids could wear uniform, and sometimes they do not wear uniform, as the case may be. And then you have the private schools. The private schools, these are owned by individuals, private bodies, and as the case may be, they might be very expensive. And I want you to know that private schools exist in Canada. The one thing I want to add is this. The mentality we have back home is that if you don't attend private school, government schools, they are not worth it. That is not the case here in Canada. In Canada, the curriculum, the setting, the teaching, the experience, everything is basically the same thing. Education is being regulated by the government here. So, if your child is going to a Catholic school, your child is going to a private school or government school, educationally or academically, they are same. They are same, so you have no cause to worry. It depends on your interest or your financial stability or whatever things you have decided as a person. But whichever way, preference depends to you. But the form of school does not have much major influence on child's educational